Don't skip this. Have you ever truly paused to think about what it means to become the best version of yourself in relationships? It's a question many of us wrestle with because deep down, every human heart longs for affection, respect, and to be genuinely valued by those around us. But how do we achieve this? How do we earn genuine admiration, not for surface-level charm or accomplishments, but for who we truly are beneath it all? Imagine every relationship as an adventure, and you are the explorer of your own soul. You're searching for the hidden treasures within yourself, the qualities that make you rare and whole, and you wish to share them with others. But to do so, you need a map, a path that leads toward understanding, connection, and ultimately, love, today. I will guide you through the process of discovering your true worth in relationships, grounded in 9 timeless Stoic philosophical lessons. So pay attention, because these are not empty, cliché words. This is about empowerment, about strengthening yourself in ways you may not have imagined. Prepare to uncover the mysteries of how to cultivate love and meaningful bonds, ones built on mutual respect, wisdom, and inner strength. Now, let's begin. Lesson 1. Understanding your true worth. How does Stoicism relate to understanding your value in relationships? The Stoics taught that we should focus on what lies within our control, and your sense of self-worth is entirely within your control. It's not about how many likes you get on social media or how much attention someone gives you. It's about how you see yourself, how you appreciate who you are. Picture this: you are a gemstone. Not everyone who passes by will recognize the beauty or value of a rare gem. Some will glance at it and walk away. But does that make the gem any less precious? Of course not. Its value remains intact, untouched, unshaken, and unique. That's you. Your worth does not fade simply because someone fails to recognize it. Let's be honest, we've all faced rejection. We've all felt inadequate, especially in today's world where everyone seems to be thriving. But here's the truth. From a Stoic perspective, your value isn't determined by external validation. It's defined by how you live, your actions, your integrity, your compassion, your discipline. Are you honest? Are you kind? Do you live by your principles, even when no one's watching? That's where your true worth lies. The Stoics believed in constant self-reflection. So take a moment to pause and look inward. What are your strengths? What values guide your life? Not the superficial traits, but the deep ones that shape your character. When you recognize them, you tap into an inner strength that no external force can diminish. In relationships, understanding your worth means standing firm in who you are, whether others acknowledge it or not. Remember, this is not a single realization, but a lifelong practice. Every morning, remind yourself, I have value, not because others approve of me, but because of the truth of who I am. Lesson 2. Present yourself with dignity. Before you start picturing a Stoic as some stern, emotionless statue from ancient times, let's clear the air. Stoicism isn't about being cold or detached. It's about knowing where to invest your emotional energy. And one of the most worthy investments you can make is in how you carry yourself, with dignity. Have you noticed how sometimes, In our effort to impress others, we start losing ourselves. We change the way we speak, the way we dress, even the way we act, all to fit into someone else's idea of who we should be. But here's the truth. Your self-respect is not measured by your outfit, your popularity, or the places you go. It's reflected in your behavior, your choices, and your consistency. Imagine this. Two students give a presentation. One uses flashy language and exaggerated gestures to win attention, while the other speaks calmly, confidently, without any act. Who leaves a deeper impression? Usually, it's the one who is genuine, the one who is comfortable in their own skin. That's the power of dignity. The Stoics, champions of virtue and self-mastery, believed that to live honestly is to live nobly. In dating or relationships today, that means being authentically yourself. If you love books, embrace that. If you're passionate about something unusual, let it show. The goal isn't to impress, it's to express your truth. And here's something powerful to remember. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. If you constantly criticize yourself, you're silently giving others permission to do the same. But when you honor your time, energy, and emotions, you're saying loud and clear, I deserve respect, Epictetus. One of the great Stoics once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In relationships, it's not about your looks or your words alone, it's about your responses, your composure, your integrity in the face of challenges. Do you react with desperation or with dignity? Do you betray your values to fit in, or do you remain true, even if it means standing alone? This doesn't mean being perfect. We all stumble. We all have awkward moments. What matters is how you rise afterward. Do you learn? Do you grow? Do you move forward with grace? Take a moment to reflect. How can you begin showing yourself more dignity today? Maybe it means setting firmer boundaries, saying no when something feels wrong, or speaking to yourself with more kindness. When you truly believe you are worthy of respect, others will begin to see it too. Lesson 3. The art of nonverbal communication. This might sound old-fashioned at first, but stay with me. It's not about being distant or hard to approach. It's about self-respect, presence, and understanding the silent power of how you carry yourself. So what does Stoicism teach us about this? Stoicism isn't about being rigid or emotionless. It's about strength, self-control, and clarity. It's about understanding what truly matters and not giving away your energy, time, or emotions too freely. In a world where everything moves fast, where people overshare and crave instant gratification, Stoicism feels like a breath of calm, timeless wisdom. Think about it. In relationships, or even early connections, we often rush to give everything. Our attention, our availability, our emotions. But Stoic philosophy reminds us to take a step back, because when something is always accessible, it loses its value. That's human nature. If you're constantly available, always saying yes, always responding immediately, always showing up on command, where is the mystery? Where is the excitement or sense of discovery? So, how can we apply Stoicism to set boundaries gracefully? First, it starts with your presence, how you carry and present yourself. Dressing with intention and balance, stylishly but modestly, isn't vanity. It's communication. It silently says, I respect myself. You're not hiding who you are, but you're also not revealing everything at once. It's an equilibrium, the perfect middle ground that expresses confidence and self-assurance. Another aspect of this lesson is how you manage your time and focus. In today's hyper-connected world, being selective with your attention is a form of self. Choosing where and with whom you invest your time sends a clear message. My time is valuable. When you're with someone, be fully present, listen deeply, engage sincerely. But when you're apart, it's perfectly fine to be unavailable. That time belongs to your own growth, your goals, your inner development. Stoicism also emphasizes emotional mastery. This doesn't mean shutting down or becoming cold. It means staying composed, not allowing small frustrations, insults, or disappointments to consume your peace. You learn to protect your emotional energy, to give it only where it's truly deserved, just as you wouldn't give away your time recklessly. You don't hand out your emotions to every passing situation or person. Now, let's be clear, this doesn't mean being unfeeling or detached. We're human. We thrive on connection. But there's beauty in pacing things, in allowing relationships to unfold naturally, with patience and depth. Real connections don't rely on instant access or constant communication. They grow from understanding, respect, and a steady exchange of energy. Setting limits doesn't mean playing games or controlling others. It means you respect yourself enough to uphold your principles. It means communicating through both words and actions that you know your value. You don't need to prove it. You simply live it. So here's to being more selective, more composed, and a bit more stoic in how we connect. It's about finding balance between openness and restraint, between sharing and holding back, between giving and protecting what's sacred. And believe me, this balance changes everything. It influences how others see you, how they treat you, and most importantly, how you see yourself. Cheers to valuing yourself, and to embracing a touch of stoicism in the modern world of relationships. Lesson 4. Be ready to walk away in stoicism. There's a profound idea about letting go. Not in a cold or careless way, but in a wise, peaceful way, in recognizing what's within our control and what isn't. One of the most powerful acts of strength is knowing when to stay and when to walk away. This principle is especially important in relationships. We've all been there, staying in a situation that no longer nourishes us, hoping it will change, fearing what might happen if we leave. Sometimes it's the fear of loneliness, sometimes the comfort of the familiar, or simply the hope that things will improve. But here's the truth. Stoicism teaches that real strength lies in discernment, in knowing when something no longer aligns with our well-being or our principles, and having the courage to step away. It's not about giving up at the first sign of struggle. Relationships require patience, understanding, and effort. But when something consistently violates your values or peace of mind, staying becomes an act of self-betrayal. Being prepared to walk away is an act of self. It means you value yourself enough to choose peace over chaos, authenticity over fear. And walking away doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, a calm realization that this isn't where your soul belongs. It's choosing inner freedom over external attachment. Yes, it's scary. The unknown always is. But remember what the Stoics taught. The only thing truly under your control is your own mind, your choices, your reactions, your path. Everything else, including how others treat you, belongs to fate. When you embrace this truth, everything changes. You stop staying out of desperation and start staying out of genuine choice. You're no longer in a relationship because you need it. You're there because it aligns with your values and your peace. And when you walk away from what doesn't serve you, you make space for what will. You clear emotional clutter, creating room for better connections, deeper love, and true fulfillment. Walking away isn't heartless, it's brave. It's saying, I respect myself enough to let go of what hurts, to make room for what heals. That Stoic strength, calm, unwavering, and deeply dignified. So remember this. Being willing to leave is not about losing hope. It's about having faith. Faith that something truer, calmer, and more aligned with your soul is waiting ahead. Lesson 5. Silently setting boundaries. Stoicism teaches that actions hold more value than words. The Stoics believed that we should show our principles through our behavior rather than merely speak about them. This wisdom is especially relevant when it comes to setting boundaries in relationships. It's one thing to declare your limits, but it's another thing entirely to demonstrate them through consistent, calm action. Think about it. It's easy to say, I won't accept mistreatment, but the real test comes when that mistreatment appears. Do you stand by your principles, or do you make excuses and compromise your boundaries for the sake of comfort or approval? True strength, as the Stoics taught, isn't shown in what we say, it's revealed in what we do. Of course, this isn't easy. Emotions, attachment, and love can make boundaries feel difficult to maintain. But here's the essence of Stoicism. You always have the power to choose your response. When someone oversteps your boundary, your reaction, calm, firm, and self-respecting, defines whether that boundary truly exists. Imagine honesty is one of your core values, and someone deceives you. How you respond in that moment says everything. You might choose to address the issue with calm clarity, or perhaps you decide to step back entirely. Either choice demonstrates self-respect and commitment to your principles. You're not creating drama, you're simply living in alignment with your values. This quiet confidence changes everything in relationships. When people see that your actions match your words, that your boundaries are not flexible depending on mood or attachment, they begin to understand who you are and what you stand for. It communicates silently. I respect myself enough not to accept less than what aligns with my values. And here's the subtle truth. Boundaries aren't only tested in big moments of conflict. They're tested in the small, everyday interactions. When someone cancels last minute without regard for your time, do you just brush it off repeatedly, or do you calmly express that your time is valuable? When plans shift, or when someone treats you casually, do your actions reflect your standards, or do you let things slide out of fear of seeming difficult? This is where Stoic mindfulness comes into play, the awareness of how you respond in the present moment. Are your actions aligned with your principles? Are you respecting yourself in quiet, consistent ways? Stoicism reminds us that the little moments define us. Each interaction, each decision, shapes how others perceive us and how we perceive ourselves. So let your actions speak. Don't declare your boundaries, embody them. This doesn't mean being rigid or unyielding. It means having an inner compass that guides you calmly and consistently. It's a strength that doesn't need to shout. It simply exists, firm, steady, and respected. And believe me, people notice. They recognize when someone values themselves enough to enforce boundaries with quiet confidence. So let's aim to live this way, composed, self-assured, and guided by inner wisdom. Because when your actions reflect your values, your boundaries no longer need explanation. They speak for themselves. Lesson 6. Actions speak louder than words. As we continue through the Stoic path, one truth becomes clear. Stoicism is about practical wisdom. It's not about ideals alone, but about reality, about seeing people for who they are, not who they say they are. In our modern world, words are easy. Promises are effortless. Many people know how to speak beautifully, to say exactly what you want to hear, but the Stoic mind looks beyond that. It observes behavior. It studies consistency. Because actions, not words, reveal character. Consider this. Anyone can say, "I'll be there for you," but when the moment comes, do they show up? They might speak of love and commitment, but do their behaviors support those claims? Stoicism reminds us that's where truth resides. Let's be honest, we've all experienced this. Someone says all the right things. They promise, they flatter, they make you feel seen. Yet, as time passes, their actions start to contradict their words. They don't call. They break promises. They show enthusiasm only when it's convenient. And despite the signs, we hold on to their words. That's when your inner Stoic must awaken. The Stoic approach is clear. Don't be blinded by emotions or empty talk. Look at what is, not what you wish it to be. If words and actions don't align, that's not a coincidence. It's clarity. It's life showing you the truth. This shift in perception changes everything. Instead of getting swept away by charm or excitement, you begin observing patterns. How does this person behave under pressure? Do they keep their promises even when it's inconvenient? Are they dependable when it matters most? When you focus on actions, you raise your standard. You quietly tell the world, "I'm not convinced by words, I'm guided by evidence." And people feel that energy. They realize they can't win your trust with empty talk. They must earn it through consistency, patience, and honesty now. This doesn't mean becoming cynical or distrusting everyone. Stoicism isn't about closing your heart. It's about opening your eyes. It's about protecting your peace through discernment. You can still be kind, open, and hopeful, but you balance that kindness with wisdom. So remember, listen less to what people say and more to what they do. Actions don't lie. They reveal character long before words do. Approach love and relationships with this calm, stoic awareness. Be observant. Be patient. Let actions reveal truth, and let truth guide your choices. Because ultimately, in both love and life, words may sound beautiful, but it's actions that tell the real story. Lesson 7. Cultivating healthy skepticism and reality are inseparable. The Stoics taught us to see things as they truly are, not as we wish them to be. This principle is vital in relationships, especially in a world where illusion often wears the mask of love. We've all been there, meeting someone who says all the right things, who paints a picture of perfection, who makes us believe in a future that seems almost too good to be true. And sometimes we ignore the red flags because we want to believe. That's where Stoic skepticism becomes your strength. A healthy form of skepticism isn't negativity, it's wisdom. It means being realistic, observant, and thoughtful rather than rushing headfirst into fantasy. It's a gentle pause, a reminder to let time reveal what's genuine. Imagine meeting someone who seems amazing, charming, expressive, deeply interested, but you've just met them. The Stoic mindset would whisper, slow down. Don't deny your feelings, but don't surrender to them blindly. Let their consistency prove their words. Let actions unfold before promises are believed. This isn't about interrogation or distrust. It's about balance, listening to what's said while watching what's done. True understanding comes from time and observation. The Stoics emphasized logic and reason, the ability to see clearly even when emotions are strong. In relationships, this is essential. Emotions can cloud perception, making us overlook what's right in front of us. But when you blend emotion with reason, when you love with both heart and mind, you see people for who they truly are. Healthy skepticism protects your peace. It gives you space to understand others without projecting your hopes onto them. It's not about guarding your heart out of fear, but guiding it with wisdom. So carry this lesson with you. Stay open, but stay awake. Be loving, but also discerning. Don't let excitement make you blind, and don't let fear make you cold. Stoic skepticism is simply the art of seeing clearly, of honoring your feelings while staying anchored in truth. And that balance of warmth and wisdom is what makes both love and life truly fulfilling. Lesson 8. Saying no with confidence in Stoicism. Staying true to your values and having the courage to uphold them is essential. This becomes especially important when it comes to saying no in relationships. It's about knowing what you believe in and not being afraid to stand by your principles, even if it causes some discomfort or tension. Imagine you're in a relationship and your partner suggests something that doesn't sit right with you. It might be moving too quickly or asking you to do something that goes against your beliefs. The easier path might be to go along with it to keep the peace. But this is exactly where your Stoic mindset comes into play. Saying no in such moments is not an act of defiance. It's an act of It's about valuing yourself enough to protect your integrity, even when it feels difficult. Let's be honest, it's not easy. When you truly care about someone, that inner voice begins to whisper, what if saying no drives them away. But here's where courage enters. Stoicism isn't just about enduring external challenges. It's about confronting your inner conflicts directly. Saying no is a declaration that you know your worth, that you won't settle for less than what aligns with your truth. Of course, there's risk involved. You might lose people who can't respect your boundaries. But here's the key insight. If saying no to something that violates your values makes someone walk away, then they were never right for you in the first place. In fact, standing your ground often changes how others see you. It commands respect. People begin to understand that you won't compromise your standards just to be liked. That kind of strength is deeply attractive because it reflects authenticity and integrity. And here's another layer to the Stoic way of thinking. Saying no isn't just about setting boundaries with others. It's about being truthful with yourself. It's about recognizing your own needs and refusing to make decisions based on fear, especially the fear of being alone. When you can say no from a place of clarity and conviction, you build a relationship with yourself that's unshakable. So let's take a moment to reflect. Saying no isn't just acceptable, it's essential. It's a statement that you live by your principles, that you respect yourself, and that you're willing to protect your peace. As the Stoics taught, integrity and wisdom are the foundation of every meaningful connection. Relationships built on mutual respect, not concession or fear, are the ones that endure. Lesson 9. Never chase. Always value. This next lesson flows perfectly from everything we've discussed so far. From a Stoic perspective, we're reminded to focus only on what we can control and release what we cannot. This truth carries immense power when it comes to relationships. Chasing after someone who's pulling away doesn't just drain your energy, it undermines your self-worth. Picture this. You're with someone and things seem wonderful, but then they begin to withdraw. The natural instinct is to pursue them, to try harder, to fix what feels broken. But Stoicism asks a simple question. Why chase? What's beyond your control? Your energy is far better spent maintaining your dignity and peace of mind. Chasing after someone who's already leaving is like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. Instead, the Stoic path is to stand firm in your value. If someone chooses to walk away, let them. It's not about being cold. It's about understanding that you can't control another person's heart or choices, but you can control your own response. It's not easy, of course. Resisting that emotional pull to chase requires inner strength, but it's also a profound act of self-trust. When you let go, you're declaring, I know my worth. I don't need to beg for love or attention. If you see my value, you'll stay. If you don't, I'll still be whole. This mindset is transformative. It shifts the power back to where it belongs with you. No longer are you at the mercy of someone else's decisions. You become grounded, calm, and selfish. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you stop chasing others and start investing in yourself, you naturally attract people who value you for your strength, confidence, and authenticity. It's as though your presence communicates a silent but powerful message. I value myself, and I don't need to prove my worth to anyone. That energy draws in people who respect and appreciate you, not those who take you for granted. So let's seal this lesson with a Stoic reminder: never chase, always value. Focus on what's within your control, your actions, your growth, your peace. Let go of the need for validation, and you'll find something far greater: inner stability and freedom. Conclusion as we wrap up this conversation. Remember this timeless truth: in the vast canvas of life, your self-worth is the brightest thread that weaves everything together. The Stoics taught us that while we cannot control everything that happens, we can always control our response. So stand tall in your own dignity. Let your actions, your choices, and your boundaries reflect who you are. And when doubt creeps in, return to this wisdom: life is not just about enduring, it's about evolving. Each challenge, each moment of restraint, each "no" you courageously speak, all shapes you into someone wiser, stronger, and freer. If today's reflection resonated with you, explore more through the playlist on the screen. It's filled with lessons, insights, and timeless Stoic principles to guide you further. Thank you for joining me in this conversation. Remember, you're not walking this path alone. We're all growing together, one step, one decision, one day at a time. Until next time, take care, stay grounded, and always honor your inner Stoic.